Bumdra is known to be one of the sacred religious sites where Bhutanese believes of accumulating merits if visit and receive blessings. People normally believes that visiting sacred places by taking our risk and suffer purify the impurity of our body, speech and mind. So on 30th day of the 4th month Sagadawa of the lunar calendar this year, we went to visit Bumdra in Paro Dzongkhag, which is about 5 hours walk from the road point at Sangchekor Gyamba. There were hundreds of visitors together on that day and walked through various kind of places. People were carrying their necessary stuffs for offering apart from their essential belongings. So Bumdra is towards the left side, and this is something written as meditation area, no entry, no noise. Oh, it's kind of restricted area. Okay, now we are following the trail of Bumdra. It's only about 15 minutes past that we have started our walking from the motorable road. As I mentioned earlier, like weather is not so favorable today. It's quite dark with the thick clouds. Devoted visitors sacrificed everything and walked uphill, taking countless breaths with the help of walking sticks on their hands. The trail wasn't that much favorable as there were some rainfalls. The trail wasn't so easy as it continues upward through some burned forest at the beginning of our journey. These forests were learned to have damaged by the forest fire in the past recent years. After crossing this area, we walked continuously through the pristine jungles and pleasant environment. After walking almost 2 hours from the road point, now we reached to one of the beautiful places here. I really don't know the name of this place. I thought like we were the first persons heading towards the Bumdra, but then when we reached here, we saw there are still few people ahead of us. So we are just enjoying our trek right now. And I believe like we still have some miles to go from here. We continued our journey by enjoying the various sightseeing. When we looked from this place, we can see Paro Valley is somewhere under the bottom of the place with the beautiful coverage of clouds. Visitors get exhausted before even reaching to this place, which is not even a half journey towards the actual visiting place of Bumdra. And we are continuing our journey, and almost all of us are quite excited now because we are learned that approaching towards the destination where we are visiting right now. Beautiful and potential environment found to be giving its strength not only to the nature but also to the human being as well. It gives a refreshing mind with amazing feelings and thoughts. It also led our minds to get highly connected with the nature and its environment. The trail towards Bumdra leads through various nature and atmosphere. Summer looks the best time to visit if wanted to enjoy the green nature but have to struggle and bear the consequences of rainfall and muddy trails. Here with a bunch of friends. Now we are almost reaching nearby the place where we are visiting right now. And our friends are really enjoying the picture session out here. And place looks very beautiful with pink colored flowers, and these people are almost happy now. We are approaching near to the place. Finally, this is a place where visitors get convinced of reaching to the actual destination. We can see Bumdra temple located in middle of a cliff just about few minutes walk. The visitors also being received by the beautiful nature of Bumdra Valley. The areas are just covered with colorful flowers and green cypress trees at this time. After walking 3 hours from the road point at Sangchekor Gyamba, now we have reached here at Bumdra. I'm sure like you might be seeing at the back that Bumdra temple is just located in the middle of the cliff. And of course we are not that much favored by the weather out here because we cannot see the place clearly. However, we are expecting that it will be getting cleared very soon. And regarding the place, it is quite amazing here. Our friends are enjoying their photo sessions And many more of our friends are still coming behind us.
This is the actual temple of Bumdra. Visitors get relieved once from their exhausted walks while reaching here, but this is not the end. As I mentioned earlier, the temple is located in middle of the cliff. Bum literally means 100,000 and Drak means a cliff in Dzongkha dialect. It means the cliff of having 100,000 footprints of Dakinis. The temple rises in the altitude of 3,800 meters.
It's a natural gate. We can see only a small hole up there that we have to go and get it out from here.
The temple has a main relic of Khandodoji Phamo, the Vajra Varahi in Sanskrit, in a form of Vajra Yogini. During our visit, we saw numbers of devoted people reached to the temple for offering their prayers and received blessings from the sacred relics of the temple. There are two ways approaching to the temple, one from Sangche Gorkemba, while another from the tiger nest Parotaksang.
Now we are heading towards the crematoriums up in the mountains. According to the information, there are 3 crematoriums here in these areas, which is considered to be one of the sacred sites here. So all the visitors here today, they are heading up hills and we are also following them. And we have just completed visiting the Bumdra temple and we are still walking up. According to the information, there are 3 crematoriums in these mountainous areas, but people say one of the crematoriums is quite far away from here and we will not be able to make it out our visits today. Still then, we are trying to make it out today. We are trying our level best to reach to all of the crematoriums. Anyhow, let's see. And meantime, enjoy the scenario of Bumdra here. Everybody must be having your dream to visit Bumdra, but might not have met so far. Now, this is the actual place out here at Bumdra. Okay, these are the real scenario, the actual scenario of Bumdra here. We are still on the way. And she's my wife, she's waving back at her friends who are still on the way.
After having some exhausted walk upward from the temple, around 30 minutes, we reached to the 3rd crematorium. People believe that we should act of dying at the actual crematorium so that we can die peacefully when we leave this world one day. However, it is believed that we should wake them up saying that they have no time to die as they still have so many works to do in this life. Again continues the walk towards the 2nd crematorium. On the way, we have managed to visit at several sacred sites such as Meditation Cave. This meditation cave looks quite decent and comfortable to carry out the contemplation. Though nobody knows the actual history of the cave, the place looks so precious and used to be a hermitage of a renowned hermit. Just above the meditation center, there is another amazing cave that believes to be a head of Ugen Guru Rinpoche. People get inside the cave and offer their prayers. The journey towards the 2nd crematorium still continues. The 2nd crematorium is just located on a beautiful patch of a hill surrounded by various colors of prayer flags. Every crematorium has a stupa and a place to act of dying.
Well, this is the 2nd crematorium here. It's about 30 minutes walk from the 1st crematorium. So let's say this is a 2nd crematorium and the lower one which we have already visited was the 3rd. And to visit the 1st crematorium, we learned that we still have to walk almost an hour from here again.
People normally do the smoke offerings at this place and circumambulate the Chorten. The Chorten has a printed image of Dorji Semba and Riksum Gembo, comprising of Charna Dorji, Chenrizik and Jitsun Jambayang. This is the place where most of the visitors sacrifices of continuing their journey to the final or the 1st crematorium. which is again about 1 hour walk from here. Visitors get fully exhausted while reaching to this point itself, and some visitors, they even cannot imagine of walking farther from this point. Some visitors even start falling sick of high altitude around from these places, aggravating their walking stamina. So, most of the visitors take their packed lunch at this place and decide their journey. Some continues while some sacrifice and return from this place. Actually, the first crematorium looks quite closer while seeing from the second, but it takes more than an hour to reach at the point. Footpaths are not so good. It leads through some bushes and rugged rocks on the risky terrains.
And you see, they are still on the way to the last crematorium, which is considered to be one of the secret religious sites here at Bumdra. And this is the condition of footpath here.
As we go on moving up, we came across with so many beautiful and scenic places where we enjoyed our photo sessions despite the exhausted walks. Finally, we reached at the first crematorium, which is located on top of the highest peak of Bumdra temple area, which is learned to be around 4,200 meters from the sea level. Almost all the mountains look down while watching from this highest level peak. Everything looks below, blowing pure and fresh air from down. Places are covered with full of beautiful perfumed flowers with calm and decent nature. There is also a place where people act of dying at the first crematorium. People, after making their prayers with smoke offering and circumambulating the Chorten, they return down happily with a sense of a great relief and satisfaction in their life.
Finally, we are here at the first crematorium at Bumdra. It's almost taking almost 1 hour from the temple down there, and we came to know that this is the highest peak above the Bumdra temple. Now we have almost done with the prayers here, and we are almost returning back to our locations. And when we start our journey from down there, we saw many people, but when we reach here, we see only a few people out here because I think path is not that much favorable. It's quite risky. We have to take our own risks. So now we are heading back to our location from the first crematoriums. Of course, there are various stories, histories about the crematorium. However, there is no authenticate or a literal evidence about the background history of this crematorium.